Hey everyone, Brady from Texturelabs here, working in Adobe After Effects, and we're going to be creating, I think, a very, very cool effect, kind of this expanding, swirling, marbled ink transition. And what we're seeing really is generated by just a single effect, the Displacement Map effect. But it's a very customized way to use Displacement Map, an effect that is usually pushing things in a single direction, to the right or the left, up or down. Here we're using it to push things outward and create kind of this radial expanding displacement effect. It requires kind of an interesting setup, but I think it's a great way to unlock a lot of possibilities with this effect. Let's get into After Effects and check out how it works. All right, getting started here, and I've got just a single layer, this flattened image, something simple to start with. The comp is 4K resolution, 3840 by 2160, and this is one of those projects that works much better at 16-bit. We're gonna be using some gradients, and those just render with much more detail in 16-bit. So I wanna Alt or Option click here to get into 16-bit mode. And the first thing I wanna do here is just run through the basic setup of how to create a displacement map that has no distortion or anything crazy. It just pushes things outward instead of in a single direction. So we're gonna need an adjustment layer with the displacement map effect. And then I'm gonna need a solid to be the displacement map reference. But this solid needs to be a square, and I want it to be at least the size of the composition. So I'm gonna make this solid 4000 by 4000 pixels. All right, then on this solid, I'm gonna want a gradient ramp effect. We're actually gonna need two of these, but on the first one, I'm gonna want this one to be 100% green at the top down to black at the bottom. So let's swap the colors and then change this white to green. So that's a hue of 120 with the brightness and the saturation all the way up. All right, then another gradient ramp, and this one I want it to be a horizontal gradient instead of vertical. So I'm gonna change the points to start at 0, 0 and end at 4000, 0. And this gradient, I want it to go from red to black. So I'm gonna swap the colors and change the white to a full blast red. Then what I really would like to do here would be to use a screen blend mode to combine these two gradient ramps, but unfortunately the gradient ramp effect doesn't have a blend mode control. All we have is blend with original. So what I'll do is take that blend setting up to 50%, and now we're only getting kind of half volume of either of these gradients. But what I'm gonna do is use a levels effect to crank everything back up by taking the input white value down exactly to the halfway point. So what I can do is just take this big 16-bit number and say divided by 2. All right, so you're gonna wanna end up with a layer that looks like this. And a good way to check to see if it's set up right, and this also might give you a clue as to how it's gonna work as a displacement map, is to first take a look at the red channel here. Now the red channel should look like a gradient that runs from white to black horizontally. And then if we look at the green channel, this should look like a gradient that runs from white to black vertically. All right, let's go back to our displacement map effect and point it at this reference layer, being sure to switch it over to use effects and masks. And then I'm gonna crank up the displacement to, let's say 600 pixels on the horizontal and 600 pixels on the vertical. And check that out. It basically just looks like we scaled everything up, right? But basically what's happening here is that the ramp from left to right in the red channel is stretching things horizontally. And at the same time, the ramp from green to black in the green channel is stretching things vertically. So seems like it makes sense, but how can we actually put this to use? Well, now that we have this color gradient layer, we can apply it to more complex displacement maps and use it to push the values outward. I'll show you what I mean. So first of all, let's rename this layer with the gradients on it. Let's call this color graph. And this can be a layer that we can just reference in a few different places. And then I'm gonna create a new solid. This is gonna be our real displacement map. I'll call this one noise map, and this one can just be the regular composition size. All right, then I'm gonna give this solid some fractal noise, and I'm gonna punch in some settings that I think make a nice swirly displacement, but of course this is something you can kind of adjust endlessly. What I'm gonna do is switch the fractal type to turbulent sharp, and I'm gonna turn on invert. I'm gonna bring the contrast up to about 150 and the brightness to about 30. And then I'm gonna bring the complexity down. Sometimes too much complexity ends up making things look a little bit noisy. So I'll take it from 6 down to 3. And you can see this kind of fractal noise still looks like a little bit of a grid pattern in here. So I'm going to try to hide that a little bit by going into the sub settings and rotating the sub rotation. I'll take it to about 60 or so. Then finally, in the transform settings, I'm going to animate the overall scale of the effect to make it kind of look like it's zooming in. So we'll start at about frame 10 and put the scale at 60%, then out at, let's say, frame 120. I'll take the scale up to 85%. And on that first scale keyframe, let's ease it out so it kind of ramps into the scale. So that's our fractal noise. And then on a displacement map, if you want some areas to be left alone and get no displacement, they can either be 50% gray or they could be transparent. So let's include some transparency here so that we're not distorting everything. What I'm going to do is use the shift channels effect, and I'm going to take the alpha from the luminance. So these areas will get distorted and these transparent areas will be left alone. All right, then before applying that color graph gradient ramp color to this layer, let's just try this as a displacement map and see what it looks like. I'm just going to scale this down and put it here in the corner so we can still look at it. By the way, the displacement map effect, it doesn't care about the transform or scale properties of a layer. It's just going to center the displacement map either way. So what I'll do is point the displacement map effect at this new noise map layer. Okay. So we're seeing that transform kind of zoom in on the fractal noise, but the displacement itself is still just pushing everything up and to the left. But let's give this noise map layer some color values. So on the noise map layer, I'm going to use the calculations effect. And here we've got the second layer property, and that's going to allow us to grab the color from another layer. So I'll point this at the color graph layer, and I'm setting it to use effects and masks. I'll bring that second layer opacity up to 100. And then I'm going to switch the blending mode to copy. That just does a little bit better job of compositing those colors. So now our map has these reggae colors in it. And what we get is all this distortion now pushing everything outward from the center. So that's the basic premise of how to shift a displacement map into this radial kind of displacement. So now let's take this a little bit further and build it into a more complex effect. So first of all, it's kind of full blast distortion right at the beginning. And in order for that distortion to sort of ramp up from 0, we could either add some keyframes to the actual displacement amount, which is right now at 600, or I kind of like doing it this way because it keeps all the keyframes in one place. On this noise map layer, on the calculations effect, as long as this is set to copy, if I bring the opacity down on the second layer, it basically makes the whole thing transparent, which reduces the amount of displacement. Now, keep in mind, changing the opacity of this entire layer doesn't do that. Displacement map doesn't care about the opacity setting of the layer, but changing this second layer opacity kind of does the math in a different order. So what I'm going to do is keyframe the opacity of the second layer, and maybe we'll let that scale get started for just a few frames before we start to ramp this in. So at about frame 15, I'm going to set a keyframe of 0 opacity, and then we'll have the displacement kind of ramp up through the whole animation. So out here at frame 120, we will go to 100% opacity. So now we have the displacement effect kind of ramping up and giving it a little bit more of this expanding kind of effect. So looking good, not yet a super dynamic effect. It still feels a little bit like frosted glass moving across the image. Everything sort of distorts at the same speed, but a great way to generate a lot more depth in displacement effects is to use multiple displacements that are moving at different speeds and kind of have a different sense of scale, and you end up getting a little bit of parallax happening. So what I'm going to do is duplicate both the displacement map layer and the noise map layer, and let's organize these. So the original one I'm going to call displacement map slow and noise map slow. And this new one's going to be displacement map fast and noise map fast. And let's make sure to point the new displacement effect at the new noise map layer. And then let's change up this noise map in just a few places. So first of all, in the fractal noise evolution options, I'm just going to give this a different random seed. And then I'm going to bring down the brightness on this one a little bit. I'm going to take that down to 0, just so it doesn't displace quite as many areas and it's more just adding in some details. And then let's make the scale move faster and be a little bit more dramatic on this one. So on this effect, the scale is going to start at 70 and then we'll go all the way up to 150. Okay, then in the displacement map effect that points at this, let's bring the displacement value up a little bit from 600 to 800 on both the horizontal and the vertical. All right, let's take a look. And we're definitely getting a more layered looking effect. It's nice how you get some of these displacement areas that kind of cross over other displacement. Let's go ahead and add one more displacement for some even faster little ink speck details, kind of like little ink droplets. So I'm going to create one more duplicate of a displacement map layer. This will be displacement map details. One more duplicate of a noise map layer. This will be noise map details. And I will point the displacement effect at this new layer. And let's turn off the other effects so we can focus on this one. So what I want is for this fractal noise to be just little specks. I'm going to change the fractal noise type to small bumps and turn off the invert setting. And then we'll take the brightness way down to -50. So it just creates a few spots. Then I'm going to bring the scale way down too. So this one can start at just 15%. And then we'll take the scale up to 40%. And then I'm going to make sure to give this one a new random seed as well. Then I'm going to crank up the displacement amount on the displacement map effect. Also, let's take that all the way up to 2000 for both of these values. All right, so this is just going to add in these little exploding droplets. Let's turn everything back on and take a look. And we've got a pretty nice looking effect going here. It kind of ramps up. Maybe we'll change this to ease into the keyframes out here at the end. So it kind of slows down and comes to a stop here. Because no matter how far you displace or crank up these displacement values, it's never going to make everything disappear completely. Displacement map is really just moving the pixels around. But maybe we can introduce kind of a simple matte and try to sneak that in here to turn this into a full transition. So let's put a new solid in, call it matte. And what I'm going to do is create kind of a black and white image wipe sort of a matte. So what I'll do is add some fractal noise to this layer. How about we make this some dynamic twist style noise? And with dynamic twist, changing the sub rotation gives it a completely different look. So let's bring the sub rotation around to 220. That gives it almost more of like a caustic looking kind of noise. And then we'll give it a little bit of animation on the evolution. So maybe we'll take this from 0 and then out at the end, give it 2 full rotations. So that's going to animate to look something like this. And then finally, we'll also make this one scale up as it goes. So let's animate the transform property to start at 60%. And this one can go up and maybe a little more than double in size. We'll go to 140%. Oh, and I'm going to make sure to give this one a different random seed as well. So we've got another kind of fractal noise zoom here. And then let's use this to create a transition matte by applying the extract effect. If you spend a lot of time in Photoshop, this is basically like the After Effects version of Blend If. So you can drag this black point slider up or the white point slider down and basically knock out the image based on its lightness. And we can give a little bit of softness to that transition so it's not like a crunchy threshold kind of thing, maybe just a softness value of 2. And then I'm going to set some keyframes on this black point to create the transition. So we'll start with it down here just before it starts to wipe the image, and then give it a complete transition up here with another keyframe. Okay, so we've got something that looks like this. I'm going to set this layer to stencil alpha, and that's going to make it act basically like a mask or a matte. And as a matter of fact, we can actually experiment with putting this under some of the displacement map effects. If I put it all the way down at the bottom, we start to get some weird echoes and things happening. But maybe if I just put it underneath the displacement map details layer, I think that kind of helps the transition matte blend in with those displacement effects. All right, well, that is our radial gradient maps and exploding ink transition. I hope you guys enjoy experimenting with this. Always more from the Texturelabs channel on the way. Gonna be taking a little bit of time off this summer, but I'll be back at you soon. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.